Okay guys, what we're going to do today is just do a really quick oil change. I'm not going to video every step. I'm just going to kind of go through the major steps there. And because my last video was just pretty detailed, and I mean I even had a GoPro in the top, looking from the top. So if you haven't seen that one, check that out. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to swap the oil filter, change the oil out. We're going on a trip this week to Colorado, so looking forward to that. My wife just got back. We got back from a month in Houston at campsite over there while my wife was getting some treatment at MD Anderson. Everything worked out beautifully, so we're going to give ourselves a little vacation now. Somebody asked me where I got this shirt at. I said I ran into Tammy Faye Baker in the airport. Now, if you have to be pretty old to remember that joke. That was really a joke. You remember Jim Baker? Tammy Faye was always so made up and everything, and so that was the joke, you know, and colorful. I shouldn't be joking though, because she's passed away. God bless her. So let's get started on this. I've got my little wrench assembly here. But the first thing we're going to do is put what I call my third hand in there, which goes in something like that. Every time I put it in, I forget the easiest way to slip it in, but I think the key is to get it straight in. But, you know, practice makes perfect. Okay, this is my little wrench assembly. Little piece of, I don't know, ½ inch maybe conduit and a little cheap bargain bin round socket, 3/8 socket. That's in a tightened position. We want to go counterclockwise, right? All right, so let me get over here where maybe you can see a little bit of what I'm doing without this freaking camera focusing on my back. But anyway, let's do it. Hope I lost my socket. I think it's loose enough to come off anyway though, yeah. Always have trouble. Always, the socket is so tight. It's a Napa. It's a Napa socket, and it's so tight that it wants to stay on there. I'll go ahead and set my wrench right now back for the go on position. And we're just going to loosen it up. This filter was so full, which is unusual, that I got a little overflow there. Look at that. I didn't wait long enough, you know. I didn't wait long enough for everything to settle. I just pulled the truck in here. That's the problem. So, lessons learned, right guys? All right, go back this way now. But it wasn't too bad. We're still gonna proceed. But as I said, I did get a little overflow. That's always disappointing when you're trying to film something, right? But anyway, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Got to see what really happens, not what you want to happen. That's the very first time I've ever had it overflow, though, which is kind of unusual. All right, so, but I got my pan under there and everything. Hopefully it's not too bad. So, let's see if we can get it out of there with my big ass finger. All right, there it is. See, I actually had, that's from the overflow. Boy, if you get it, when you lubing it up, if you get just a little oil in that ring, that's not good. So, I made this just to accept my filter. Doesn't look like it's accepting it very good. But anyway, that's just to hold it up, you know, while I fill it. So I made this just to, you know, like that. So it's a little wobbly, but it's a cheap socket. All right. So let's swap out filters. Now, don't forget to clean your space up here, which is important, I guess. Probably not really, but I do it anyway. Something I did today is tilted my tire in. I don't know if that's good or bad. Put some Delvac 1300 in that booger. When you buy this stuff, make sure that that seal is intact, because I've heard of people buying their oil and ending up with somebody returning a jug with old oil in it. So I use a knife to cut this aluminum away, because you want to be careful that you don't have any of that aluminum there get into your filter. So let's go ahead and fill this thing now. And lube it. Lube it with these old shaky hands. I'm not normally that shaky, but I'm camera shy. Okay, so I think we got it just about topped off. It'll take exactly a quart. I mean, that thing will hold exactly a quart. That's just about where we had it before, right there. So I'm going to get a little oil here on the Geno's end of it, surface too, just for the hell of it, just to make sure we get a good seal. When you take your old filter off, make sure that seal comes with it though. So, and this doesn't have to be nearly as tight as I always thought it had to be. See, it's sealed off. It's heavy. That's my biggest problem, is it's heavy. But anyway, put it in there. Okay, it's in there. Now it's sitting in this, in my, what I call my third hand, which just helps to hold it. A lot of guys just use rags and stuff. If you can get both your hands in there, that's great. I can't. Not without contortions. So it's nice and clean now. Gonna put that over here. Now the fun part, stabbing it. That's always where I lose my religion. Not really. That is the threads. You can feel it when you lock onto those threads. It's just a very fine threads. And you got to have it started properly. Don't force it, because you'll strip those threads or get them messed up, and then you're in trouble. Okay, it's hooked and spinning on freely now. Tell you, the plumb bob works, man. I'll tell you, it works good. So let's switch over to my left hand, which is, I am left-handed, so to tighten it up. Now I'll get a nice clean dry rag to finish it off. Really best, if the filter's dry and your hand is dry, that's probably the best way, best torque you can get. Which that's not really enough. So I'm going to, this is where everybody says, oh, you're over tightening your filter. No, I'm just a weak son of a bitch, that's all. See, I can probably, never tried it. Okay, calling out a good one, buddy. Take this. Take the cap off. Take the catcher off. Let's see how much oil we had come out of this thing when we pulled it too soon. That's why you want to wait about 30 minutes, guys. You see right there? See that little bit of oil that dripped? That's why you want to wait about 30 minutes right there to let that level drop. Like I said, this is the first time that's happened to me where I've actually had some spill. Okay, so there's the filter that came out. I mean, that thing is topped off. Look at that. I have never seen that before. It's always been down this low. And I believe the reason is because I pulled my truck right in here and got right to work on it. I think the thing is, the best thing to do is go ahead and I think the best thing to do is go ahead and let it set for about 20 minutes and let all that oil siphon out. That's going to siphon out and all that business, and I think you'll be better off, because like I said, that's the first time I've experienced that. But no big deal. It was just, you know, it didn't, maybe less than a half ounce. You saw it when I pulled it out, but you know, I'm so anal about spilling oil that it kind of disappoints me, but that's the way it is. So we're going to call it about, what, 12 minutes. And I'll tell you what, that's about right. You know, not hurrying or anything, just kind of taking your time and not trying to set any world speed records or nothing. Which I didn't, and I had to stop once to go put my dog up. So this was not very scientific, but you know, generally speaking, you're looking at around 10 to 15 minutes probably, just taking your time, doing everything slowly. I had a couple of little issues this time because of had that little bit of oil dribble over. Turned out to be nothing. Didn't even leak over my third hand, as I call it. But, or, you know, out of it into the truck itself. So that wasn't a big deal. And the reason that happened, I believe, was because, number one, I didn't have my truck warmed up enough. And number two, I shut it right off and got right to work on it. So, kind of my fault there. Usually I do that when the thing is 190 something degrees, you know. And this time it was warm, but it wasn't hot, and I didn't wait. So, you know, blame it on me for that. Every other time I've changed oil in this truck, it's always been down 2 to 3 inches. So it's got to be because of the cold oil and just not giving it enough time. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Adios.